What's up, YouTube? Today is day number 17 of the $1,000 account challenge, and we are actually down 5% of the total portfolio balance. We lost $93 today, bringing us down to about $1,700 in the account. Now, if you don't know, my name is Gates. I'm taking $1,000 and I'm day trading options to see how far we can grow this account. We've done pretty well so far, only taking one other red day, today being our second red day. But that is okay because it's exactly why we build this profit margin. You know, we invested $1,000 to start the challenge. We're still up $700 in the account, so we're doing okay. But this is a lot larger loss than what I wanted to see today. So what happened? Let me break down the trades for you that I took. Straight off the day trade watch list, we had Amazon as a short idea below 145, and my comments were that it was a gap down day following a negative reaction to a news catalyst. So Amazon, here's your gap down this morning. We're on the 1 minute time frame here, and here's the break of 145. So I'm seeing this at this time, and SPY at this time is pushing. So it's looking like Amazon is showing something known as relative weakness. I'm thinking Amazon from here is going to continue down. So I wanted to get in on the trade before it continued to drop, and that was my first mistake of the day. I should have stayed more patient because I could have gotten a way better entry right here, scaled in on the trade up here, and then profited over here. That would have been a much better way to approach this trade. However, I scaled in 3 times on this trade. So I took my first entry here, that was the mistake entry. It was too early. I should have stayed more patient. All right, so it took my entry there. I added to the position up here at 145, and then when we were up about 10%, I wound up not taking my profits and adding to the position again up here. Now, when it came down, I started to scale out of this trade, taking my profits, but I didn't close the full position. So that would be mistake number 2, is that I did not close out the full position on Amazon when it dipped back down below 145. And then we get the move up to close to the high of day and then the pullback, and I wound up closing the last of it out as it pulled back for a loss. And this resulted in about a 36% loss overall. I did take my profits at the 10% when they were offered, but man, this was an unfortunate trade. So the big mistake being taking the initial entry here. You know, if I had stayed a bit more patient on this, I could have taken a win. Now I did go back in on the trade, right? I noticed that, okay, it's not downtrending, it's uptrending. So we flipped the trend, or flipped the bias here. We have intraday resistance at 145.8. So I'm thinking it dipped down to 145.8. We take the position long for the run up to the high of day. And we get the dip down, and this would be mistake number 3, where it is the exact same as mistake 1, where I did not stay patient enough to get the better entry here. Had I taken the entry here, we probably would have been taking profits there. Instead, I took the entry here, did not take my profits there, waited. It started to pull back, and I just washed out of the trade for break even. So pretty much, just paid commissions there on this one. And that was Amazon, and I could have even held this through this consolidation because it was still up above my resistance point from earlier. And it did press up higher into the high of day and has continued to press. So, man, just mistakes all over. Number 1, not staying patient. Number 2, not closing the full position out when profits were offered. Number 3, not staying patient again. And maybe even number 4 here, which is just not allowing the trade to work out for me, and closing it, with some fear in mind. I think that because I took the loss previously, I didn't want to continue to add to the losses, so I just washed out for break even. Now, I did take another trade in the challenge account, and that was on AMD. What I noticed here was AMD going from red to green. So we had a long trigger off the day trade watch list on AMD at 137. That's kind of irrelevant right now other than it being a point of resistance on the day. AMD opens up below the previous day's closing price, breaks above it, and pulls back to retest it. And I saw this happen once, and it bounced. I saw this happen again, and it bounced, and I took it on the third entry thinking it was going to bounce. Unfortunately, of course, the third time that it tests this same area, it doesn't bounce. It actually dips a little lower, and I just instantly close the position out. I was not willing to give this any room to work. I saw this volume coming in. I saw it getting bought back up. Maybe I could have went back in on the trade over here for the run up, but you know what? I was kind of done after those 3 losses on the day. I didn't want to continue to risk more capital. So just unfortunate here. I think that this is an okay trade. I identified the intraday support. I identified the red to green move, the previous day's closing price, and I followed my plan by cutting it. Just a trade that really didn't work there. I don't see where I could have done any better on this other than to maybe go back in on this trade, but I already explained why I didn't want to do that. So, it's unfortunate because this happens on a live trading day, and I know that there are a lot of traders that have high confidence in me, and I have high confidence in myself and my ability to perform, but this is a stark reminder that I'm human. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes, and this is a great example that if you get complacent in the market, you will get humbled. Now, fortunately for us, we do have this profit margin built up in the account. So, we're not losing too much money. We're basically just losing house money here. But if you look at my profits from the previous days, a $50 gain here, a $46 gain there. I mean, this one day of losses just wiped out 2 days worth of gain. So we're setting back pretty far here on this day, but we will rebuild. It's not the end of the world. The loss is manageable, and I think that we can make it back within a couple of trading days. Okay, thank you so much for your time and watching the video. Press that like button for me if this has helped you out, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. I post pretty cool content every single day. All right, take care, and I will see you next week when we continue the $1,000 account challenge.